Yes, people, you know what time it is. You know what it is. It's G, and we are back in the building for the preview. Liverpool versus Sparta Praha in the second leg of the Europa League knockout stages. Yes, I already know, guys, we don't want to be here, but we're here anyway. This is where we deserve to be after last season's exploits. So let's just do the damn thing. Whilst we're on the point of doing the damn thing, guys, please make sure you're smashing that like button, sharing, and subscribing. And of course, let me know in the comment section as well, people, in terms of my lineup, which I'm going to give you guys, my prediction, players you want to see, players you don't want to see, all of that. Let me know in the comment section. I will reply back to all messages and all comments. Again, love for the love. Make sure you guys stay tuned as we get into this preview.
Through the lot, now you know I'm coming through. When the growth look good on you, best believe they wanna screw now. I've been trying to climb, devil threw me in the dark. Baby, don't be insecure, you can still go make a mark like blow. Could never let them drain my soul now. Blow. Table turning like doorknobs, wow. Blow. I think I'm about to set sail. I'm a walking, living legend, walking with my chest out. Life keep dealing me cards, I keep feeling it.
Yes, people, as I mentioned before, we're here for the preview. As I mentioned as well, guys, we are on the road to 1.5 thousand subscribers. Yes, it sounds like a big number, but we will get there, God willing. So make sure you're smashing that like and subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. You guys can obviously see I've got got the new setting, you know what I mean, the nice painting on the walls, you know, like lovely sofa and etc. etc. But of course, we're here to talk about Liverpool against Sparta Praha. In that first game, obviously Liverpool running out 5-1 winners, fantastic goals in that game. Remember the Darwin Núñez goal, brilliant, a good couple goals actually that he scored in that game. And yeah, you know, McAllister penalty and, you know, a couple of other bits as well. Overall, a decent performance from the Reds. I don't think, you know, we had to really get out of like second gear. To be honest with you, there was a few hairy moments. I will say that. You know, there were moments in the game where, you know, it just looked a little bit disjointed. It just looked a little bit all over the gaff, if I'm being 100% honest with you. Players looked a little bit leggy at moments in that game. And it's almost like they just didn't really have that sharpness, and cohesion. That's what I kind of felt. And, you know, we'll talk about, you know, Sparta Praha and their kind of, you know, their kind of threats and things like that. But yeah, those are kind of the things that I kind of, when I looked at the game, I was like, look, we won 5-1. So is there really much to complain about? Not really. But they were having shots and they were having chances. That's definitely one thing, you know, I would definitely say in regards to that. When we look at that first leg, of course, we had the lion's share of possession, 63% to their 37, you know, percent. In fact, you know what I'll do is I'll share that with you guys so you guys can actually see. I know obviously people have done their match reactions and things like that in regards to the game, but it was just interesting to see. I can't remember if I did my one, but you can see here, as I mentioned before, you know, 63 to the 37% possession. Obviously, our expected goals 2.76 to their 0.88. They had 11 shots at goal and 7 on target. They missed 3 big chances, you know, in the game. So, you know what I mean? Game state, you know, score those chances. The game looks a little bit different. Of course, we missed 4 big chances. So again, as I mentioned, you know, it's one of those kind of things. Depending on when the person scores, how does the game kind of pan out, and all of these kind of, you know, different little things. But yeah, like in a general sense, it was comfortable at a certain point, and I feel like that's kind of been the theme for Liverpool this season, for the majority of the season. Is yes, it gets comfortable up to a point. It never seems like it's relatively comfortable for 90 minutes, even if you're not even necessarily playing that well. It always seems like, and I keep saying it, you know, after every game week, usually, in terms of the luck that Liverpool have had, in my opinion, anyway, this season. You know, I feel like we've had some crazy, crazy luck. You know, teams have just not had their shooting boots. They've not, you know, not certain situations not hitting the target, certain situations they're doing what you do on FIFA, where he passed instead of shooting, or he shot when he should have passed. Like weird things happening, but hey, that's the luck that you need to be able to, win titles, win tournaments like this, the Europa League knockout kind of phases as well. You kind of need this. And as I mentioned before, it did get comfortable at a certain point. So again, you're running out 5-1 winners. There's not going to be too much to really moan about. And to be honest, I don't see any level of real stress, if I'm being honest, heading into that kind of second leg. We look here, just a few of the other bits, draws, passes, tackles won, interceptions, blocks, clearances. We actually made 18 clearances, which is actually kind of crazy, to their 14. Both keepers made 6 saves in the game. So again, it was a busy game. And like I said, I wouldn't even necessarily say end to end, but it was exciting, because you were looking at it and you were thinking to yourself, right, if these guys just kind of pattern up a little bit, in certain areas and in certain situations, yeah, it could get dark real quick. Their main threat, in my opinion, if I take that banner off, was the right fullback, wingback, however you kind of want to put it, Preciado, fast. Absolutely rapid. This is obviously his heat map in that game against Liverpool, and he will be one of the threats in this game, I believe. Anyway, of course, if he's starting, I don't really know if they pick up an injury or anything like that. But yeah, he'll definitely be one of the threats for me. I think with them, and big up Jerry, if you guys haven't watched it already, make sure you go and head on over to his channel to actually watch his preview to the last game, because he speaks about, the on the wing, he speaks about that's the threat that they will have, and they really did showcase that. And to be honest, actually, from what I was looking at, most of their actual threat, or most of their attacking threat, sorry, actually came down the left-hand side, which is crazy, because on that right-hand side, you've got Preciado over there. And he's absolutely rapid. We saw that foot race that he had with Darwin Núñez, when Darwin Núñez would have been clean through, and in most other situations, I think Darwin Núñez goes through and he scores. But in this situation, that wasn't happening, man. Preciado is very, very quick. So again, he's just someone I feel that Liverpool just may need to watch, just may need to, just be careful with. Bermankovic, he was another player when he played last time out against Liverpool. He was unlucky. I think there was the shot. There was a shot that someone took. It might have been Harris Lynn or Kucha. I can't remember which one it was, but one of them took a shot. It's then deflected. Keepers obviously parried it. Keller's obviously parried it out, and he had an open goal, and he's obviously missed. We saved a shot on the line. Gomez, of course, saving it on the line. Like I said, there were situations in that game where you were looking, and it just didn't really look too, it just didn't look too comfortable from Liverpool, and as I said, you ran out 5-1 winners. There's not going to be much that you're going to complain about in the end, But when we're looking at it from that kind of point of view, I was a little bit like, okay. And then, as I mentioned before, Harris Lynn and Kucha, again, all three of them all having shots off in the game. A couple of them getting them shots obviously on target, and I just felt in an attacking sense they were just getting in behind our defenders a little bit too easily. That's the bit that kind of irritated me a bit, is that they were just constantly getting in, We had Kanate, we had Konza back there, of course. Kanate then having to come off, and then Van Dijk then coming on after that. But they still had one or two pieces in that second half, even with Van Dijk there. So again, it's just being able to kind of manage that a little bit better. We're at home. We got the home crowd. And like I mentioned before, I don't expect and I don't envisage there being too much of an issue. But at the same time, do you know what I mean? It's all about momentum, and we know how Liverpool are kind of a momentum team, and we are a momentum club. You know what I mean? It's always good to just keep up appearances. You know what I mean? Keep up the performances and things like that. Obviously, going into this game off the back of a draw to Manchester City, a little bit disappointing. If I'm being 100% honest with you, I wouldn't say I expected us to win, but if we were talking context of the game, yeah, I thought Liverpool would end up winning that. So there will be a level of disappointment within that, and I don't know if many of those players are going to even play in this game, so it might not really realistically matter. Sparta Praha actually lost their last game 4-0. So they're not coming into this game feeling too happy. Whether that means that they're looking to take their anger out against Liverpool, we'll obviously, of course, have to wait and see. But unfortunately for them, because it's at Anfield, that's where I'm going to be like, unfortunately, bro, there's not much we can do for you here. Do you know what I mean? Like we're just gonna slap you, get you knocked out of the tournament, and then we're just gonna mosey on through, to that next round. But again, we'll kind of just wait and see. We'll kind of wait and see. Let me look over to my lineup, the lineup I wanted to see. And again, people, let me know if you're still tuned in and you're still watching this. Make sure you're smashing the like and let me know in the comment section once you get to this bit here who you guys would like to see in your lineup. So hopefully you guys can, of course, see that. Is there a way to, let's change yeah, let's do that so you guys can obviously see it better. There we go. Perfect. Fills the screen. So obviously you guys can, of course, see here, this is the lineup that I've kind of chosen to go with. As I mentioned before, we're 5-1 up. Do you know what I mean? So these are the kind of players that I kind of want to see play and I think should play. And again, of course, you've still got players on the bench, players who have come back. So Bozolai, of course, coming back into the fold, Robertson coming back into the fold. And you still got the Darwin Núñez, the Luis Diaz. I mean, if the situation got that peak, then you're having to bring these guys on, then, that tells its own story, if I'm being 100% honest. But of course, we got Keller in goal. I know there was a shouts for Adrian. I thought about that for a minute. I can't even lie. I did. It was either Adrian or the other. Is it Mrozek? Yeah, those two. I feel like maybe Mrozek. I'm probably butchering that name, but I'll let Jerry pattern that. But yeah. It was one of the two. I thought about it, but I said, you know what, keep Keller in goal. It's good for rhythm. He's playing games. He's playing really, really well. Played well against Manchester City. He's played well in recent games. Saved our bacon in that first leg anyway with some of the saves that he was making. So yeah, I mean, let him continue. Just let him continue. And again, to be honest, this is going to be probably really the only time that he's going to get that kind of game time anyway. So for his own confidence and form, considering we're going to need him, he needs to know, look, for this time period, for this next month or whatever it's been, month, 2 months, I'm the number one. I'm playing every single game. Do you know what I mean? Let me get my clean sheet bonus up. You feel me? So yeah, obviously I'll keep him in there. Left back, I've gone with Tsimikas. As I mentioned, you could go Robbo, but I just think, Tsimikas, he's there. Why not rest Robbo? We've got the Manchester United game at Old Trafford in the quarterfinal, the FA, quarterfinal? Quarterfinal, the round just before that. I can't remember which round it is, but obviously we've got that game against Manchester United. That's where I'll probably be looking to play someone like a Robbo. Bradley at right back. Our choices at right back ain't really there. Do you know what I mean? There's only other Gomez or Trent, and I think Trent potentially will be back for that Manchester United game. But again, I'm not 100% sure if he will. Obviously, I haven't listened or, I've not been able to tune into any press conferences or anything like that. So I think the landscape might change in terms of what this lineup is here. Certain players might not even be available. So, this is just what I would go with if everyone was kind of available and fit in certain positions. But yeah, so I'll go with Bradley. You can take him off at halftime for kind of whoever, if you realistically wanted to bring on maybe a Kanate if he's available and fit, and then you can push Gomez back out to right back. There's little bits you can do, but I've gone with Gomez. Kwanzaa definitely. I think he's definitely going to play. Can't see why not. Had a very decent game against Manchester City. So, long may it continue. And it also gives the opportunity to rest Virgil van Dijk. That's what I really want us to be able to do, is rest Virgil van Dijk in these kind of games. I don't need to see him constantly playing. I don't need to see him, every 2 minutes doing this, that, and the third. No, bro, you can chill. You don't need to play. Let's kind of move on. Midfield, Endo, I would like to drop Endo, not because of form. I think Endo's been fantastic, in the last couple months, recent, to be honest with you, for a little while. But this whole 2024, I feel like since he came back from international duty in January, yeah, he's just been on smoke. He's been on literal smoke. But you don't have that many players. I mean, you could potentially go with Zabozalai and then maybe change Clark or McConnell, because obviously Zabozalai, he's been a little bit wishy-washy, and I feel like he needs to get his confidence and form back. Because recently he's just been looking kind of rusty. Maybe this is the type of game that Klopp might just play a free midfield three-man midfield, but maybe not in the convention way where you've got the DM and then the the two eights. Maybe might just have it as just three central midfielders, maybe one a tad bit more advanced than the other, and then the other two just kind of, loitering around, but constant rotation within that midfield. That could potentially be an option. I'm not against it. I would, you know what? Nah, I'll keep Endo there, but I'm not going to be against it if someone says, nah, play Szoboszlai from the start. I think that'd be a good idea to actually play Szoboszlai from the start. But at the same time, I'm also wary about injuries and things like that. He did, of course, start against Manchester City as well, then came off, didn't have a good game in that. So yeah. That could be one thing. You got Clark and McConnell in there. Yeah, I feel like Clark will play in this game. I can't see why he wouldn't start with 5-1 up. If you trust the youngsters the way he says he does, then this is the game. Definitely McConnell as well. It will be a good shout, but of course that just depends on whether he's looking to play as a Szoboszlai, potentially in there. And also to give Harvey Elliott a rest, man. That brother has been playing so many games, so many games. So we definitely need to think about giving him a rest. Up front, I've gone with Kumas, but I've got him out there on the left-hand side, just because I feel like playing out there on the only problem with having him on that left-hand side is if Preciado is going to constantly bomb down that side, Tsimikas, Clark, they're gonna need to be more on job. But if you release that defensive responsibility from him and just allow him to play kind of in off that left-hand side, I can't see why that he couldn't really play there. I'd rather him there than up front. Do you get what I mean? I know Gakpo, obviously I've got Gakpo there. There's obviously been a lot of talk about Gakpo in recent times, and rightly so. He's been very, very poor. Even the cameos off the bench, some of the performance that this guy's putting in is absolutely stinky. And we need to figure, there needs to be a way, or we need to try and figure out a way how we can play him back into form. But I don't really know. I honestly don't know what we do with someone like Gakpo. I think it's just literally just one of those kind of things. Just gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, he's gonna have to somehow play his way into form. And bro, sort out that trim. But yeah, that's why I've gone more with Gakpo in the center, just purely because he's more of a presence, so to speak. And yeah, I think it'll just be a little bit easier for him to play there as opposed to Kumas. But I'm not opposed to the two of them switching. As I mentioned, I don't know if Dan's is available. Again, let me know in the comment section. That's why I've not put him in. And also a bit more respect as well. We just got to respect the opposition a little bit, and not try and throw these kids into the fire. And then I've got Salah. That was an interesting one. I thought about that one for a minute. Just coming back from injury, came off the bench against Manchester City. I've only gone with him purely just to kind of get some minutes into his legs, and he's going to probably want to play. Not come off the bench again and then potentially start against Manchester United. I feel like this is a start. Bring on someone like a Kai Gordon second half. 45 minutes from Salah, 60 minutes from Salah, then 30 minutes from Kai Gordon out there to just, get some minutes in his game, or whoever he wants to kind of bring off the bench. Elliot, if you really must, then yeah, cool. But yeah, that's kind of the team, and that's kind of how I would go with it. So guys, let me know in the comment section who you would choose for your lineup. Who don't you want to see? Who don't you mind seeing? Who do you want to see? Let me know all of that in the comment section below. But yeah, in terms of my prediction for the game, I think they'll score again, so I'm gonna go. I think they would actually score first, so I'm gonna go. I'll go. I last one went 3-2, so I'll go 4-1. I'll go 4-1 Liverpool. Don't really know the scorers. I don't really know who's gonna play. If Salah starts, I think he scores at least 2 in this game. But yeah, well, of course, we'll have to wait and see. Let me know your score predictions in the comment section below, people. That is my match preview done and dusted. Liverpool versus Sparta Praha, the second leg. Liverpool, of course, 5-1 up from that first leg. Can we just get the job done? No injuries, no problems. Let's move on to the next game, and then we can continue this quad charge. Yes, I said it. Continue the quad charge. But guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm G, and I'm out.